Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video we are going to talk about interpolation. Interpolation is one of the simplest way to bind the data from your component to the HTML. Interpolation allows you to bind the calculated strings from your component to your HTML. In your case, in the previous video, if you have seen, the home component.html is accessing the title from home component.ts file. So this is binding the data dynamically to the HTML. This is nothing but the interpolation. Using interpolation, we can assign a dynamic content to the HTML. The dynamic content can be from your RESTful services, or it can be from your component, or it can also be from your database. The syntax for interpolation is the double curly braces open and close. Just like we are using the title, inside this open curly braces and closed curly braces, this is the syntax for interpolation, and this has to be used in the HTML. Okay, let me have one variable called name minds, and if I want to display this name variable or the content of this name in my HTML, all I have to do is double curly braces open and close and name. Save the file and open the browser. There we go. We can see the content which is there in our name variable in the HTML. We can also load the images using interpolation. Let's see how to do that. So inside my home.component.html, I'm having a div, and inside this I'm having image tag and src. I'm giving the source for this image as I have already pasted one image in my assets folder, that is angular_logo.jpg. I'm going to give that. So this has to be the relative path from your home component.html. If you just see this home component.html, the relative path is, we have to come out of this home folder, that is double dot slash, and the image is there inside this assets folder. So slash assets slash angular_logo.jpg. Save the file and open the browser. Sorry, it's jpg. Yeah, something. Yeah, it is logo. There we go. So we can also bind the value of source using interpolation. Right now we just hard coded this using this hard coded string. Rather than doing this way, we can also do that using the interpolation. So I am going to cut this value, and let me keep a variable over here inside my home component.ts file, saying that image URL is equal to the path of this image, and I will copy this image URL and I will use this interpolation, the open curly braces, and keep this image URL here, and let me save and see the browser if the image is loading or not. We can still see the image. So we can bind any variable, which is any property from your component, to the HTML using interpolation. We can also write the expressions, that is mathematical calculations, using interpolation. H2 open curly braces and close curly braces, and we can also have something like 1 plus 1, and if you just see the output is 2. So the content, the text between these open curly braces and closed curly braces is called as a template expression. Angular first evaluates the expression between these curly braces, and then it will convert it to the string, and then it will bind that to the HTML. Similarly, we can also do string concatenation. I'm copying here. I'm using the double quotes, welcome to, and then I will use the name variable again and save it. See here, welcome to Innoments. It is binding, it is concatenating this string with this name variable value, and then it is binding it to the H2 tag. Similar to this properties, you can also call a method from your component. Let me create a method inside my home component called getSum, and it returns 1 plus 1, and I will use this getSum method inside my HTML. Let me save it, and still we are getting the value. And let me change something in this method. Instead of 1 plus 1, I will give 1 plus 5. Then it will display 6. Using interpolation, we can use almost all the JavaScript inbuilt functionalities, like the length of the string, name dot length, channel length is, if I save it, the channel length is 9. That is exactly same as the character length of the Innoments string. And you can also use other functionalities, inbuilt functionalities, like dot to uppercase, and save the file. There we go. So we can use many of the JavaScript inbuilt functions using interpolation. However, there are few limitations for interpolation, like you cannot assign a variable using interpolation. Let's say if I want to have assign a new value to my name variable, like name is equal to another text, and save it, you can simply see error saying that bindings cannot contain assignments at column 9. So it is saying you cannot assign a variable using the bindings, that is interpolation. So this is not possible in interpolation. Similar to that, assignment operators, that is whatever we have done now, and increment and decrement is also not allowed. Like I have let's say I have a variable, and if I want to try to increase this number using plus plus operator, increment operator, it is also not allowed. Before that, let me have a variable a is equal to 10, and if I see here, unexpected end of expression a plus plus, so this is also not allowed using interpolation. Fine. And you cannot access the window variable, that is the global variable of JavaScript, using interpolation. let me try to access the location of this URL using window.location.href, and if I try to access this, it will throw me error saying that window does not exist on the type home component. So if you want to access this, if you want to bind this location, you can have this from your component. You can have another variable URL and keep this content and save this, and you can place this URL variable inside your HTML. Then you can see this URL localhost:4200. You can also customize the syntax of interpolation. Let's say you don't want to use this double curly braces open and close syntax, and if you want to keep some other different syntax for that. So you can also do that using the interpolation property inside your metadata of your component. Let's do that. There is interpolation property which component decorator accepts. Here you can simply give what is the starting point of your interpolation syntax. Here I am giving you pipe and percentile as a starting point, and percentile and pipe as a end point. So if I just save this now, and you can see I'm getting lot of errors because now I have modified my interpolation syntax. So now I cannot use double curly braces open, double curly braces close. So for that I have to go and change the syntax, pipe, percentile, and the closed one is percentile, pipe. And for now let me comment out all these things. Let me save it. See, your interpolation is still working with the new syntax. So similar to that, if you want to have this name also, and if you instead of having this double curly braces, you can just have pipe percentile and percentile pipe, save it, there we go. You can see the interpolation working. So with this you can change whatever the syntax that you want inside your component. So if you want to use different syntax for your interpolation, you can still go ahead and use it. That's it for today. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.